Hello! Today I'll be speaking about something that I find very interesting. I hope you do too. I saw something really, I don't even know what words to use to describe it. So a couple days ago, like a few days, earlier this week, I can't remember when exactly, but I was watching TV and this thing, I don't know, I think it was like a campaign advert or something like that. It came up on the screen and it was amazing actually. I was quite amazed as I watched. So I'm just going to give you a rundown of what the advert was like. So this advert begins with a picture of Martin Luther King and there's a caption that comes up and says, "It wasn't easy, but he did it." The next picture that comes up is a picture of Nelson Mandela, and they bring up this picture and then they put the same thing. Third picture comes up and it's Barack Obama. And last but not the least, the picture that came up was a picture of our dearest president, Goodluck Jonathan. Well, Nigeria's dearest president, Goodluck Jonathan. So as I watched, I mean, I was I was flabbergasted. And after I watched it, I was just thinking, and I think you can agree with me that if that advert is actually offensive, I'm sorry to say, but I take offense for that. I mean, I'm offended for that whole thing. Like, who sits down and comes up with these things? Like, who sits down and says, "Oh, bright idea, let's go ahead and do this"? Like, don't they, I mean, isn't there a concept of, I don't know, like, isn't there common sense applied while these things, it beats me. It really beats me. Now let's take this thing apart. So this advert implies that there's an it, this elusive it that nobody really expatiates on. We don't really know what this it is. Let's even take this thing down to the final point. Let's start from the first person, Martin Luther King. If you ask me, what is the it that he did? Very simply, I would say he was the voice of the Black African American civil rights movement. He literally gave his life for the cause. He was a major player in the whole Black civil rights advancement in the first place. Like, I mean, you don't mention Black American civil rights without mentioning Martin Luther King's name. So that's what I would say the it that he did is. So now let's move on to Nelson Mandela, our darling Madigba. Nelson Mandela was literally the voice for the freedom of South Africans from apartheid rule in South Africa in the, I think, 80s, 90s, 70s, 80s, 90s. He was in prison for 27 years fighting this cause. He was then elected as the first president of a newly freed or liberated South Africa. I mean, okay, let's even move on now. Barack Obama. What is this it that he has done? Well, Barack Obama is the first Black American or African American president of the United States, and although, I mean, that may not be like an achievement, like, oh, I have, but it is actually in a sense. And in his last speech before the congressional election, I think it was about a week or two ago, he took out the time to enumerate the different things that his administration had been able to accomplish. Having the lowest unemployment rates that America has seen in a while. Some of the best economic numbers in a while as well. What is this it? Maybe I'm the one that's in the dark. Maybe I'm the one that's ignorant here, but I don't know what they're talking about. Maybe please tell me, please inform me so that I will not remain in this darkness, because I'm at a total loss as to this it that he's done or he's doing. Jonathan has been president since 2011 and I don't see what has been accomplished during his time. Nigeria is now supposedly one of the biggest economies, or not biggest economies, but fastest growing economies, and I don't think that has anything to do with Jonathan or his administration. I think whatever form of economic drive that is Nigeria now is solely and probably 99% driven by individuals and the entrepreneurial spirit in the country. So I don't really have the data to maybe support what I'm saying, but I mean, let's be real. I mean, what economic policies have been put in place? Like I said, maybe I'm not aware. Please let me know if I am somehow wrong about this. If you ask me, it's easier for me to say what he hasn't done as opposed to this elusive it that he has done. He hasn't brought the Chibok girls back. There is still no light. There is still no water. Lagos-Ibadan Expressway is still not complete. There's a whole long list of things that he hasn't done. So I don't know. Okay, maybe they think he's doing it, so he's in the process of doing it, but I don't see this process. We're not informed about what is happening. We don't really know what steps are being put in place. They're just all these vague ideas and vague insinuations. There's no actual basis, no foundation, nothing solid and nothing concrete. This is the problem that I have. So who came and put up this advert of what he's doing? And just to show how ridiculous this thing is, he's doing it. It's what? I mean, would Obama come and say, I'm doing it? No, he came up and gave his speech and he specifically said, this is what I have done. This is what I have done. This is what we have done. This is what my administration has done. We can see it. We have the figures to back it up. We have the data to back it up. Not this it hanging in the clouds that we don't know where he got it from. What is the it? I can already imagine what an interview with JEJ would be like on this subject. Good day, Mr. President, and welcome to our show. It's an honor to have you here. Oh, thank you. I'm very happy to be here. So in light of the forthcoming campaigns and the forthcoming elections, we'd just like to hear from you what you think the victories of your administration over the past 4 years are. Change is a gradual process. Nothing good happens overnight. If you look through the books of history, you will see this as well. Nothing good happens overnight. Everything takes time. You see, sorry to cut you short, Mr. President, but could you give us some specific achievements that you would like to highlight now? I am not one to boast. You hear people saying, I did this, I did that, they did this. No. I am not one to boast. There's a proverb that says, when your right hand is doing something, don't let your left hand know about it. Okay, Mr. President, I think I get the point you're trying to make. Thank you very much. If you're watching an interview with JEJ, you will know that I haven't strayed far from the truth. In this forthcoming 2015 elections, I expect Jonathan to get nothing more than 1 vote. And that 1 vote is the vote that he cast or he will cast for himself. In fact, I think if Jonathan step up of his body and was just watching him, like looked back at himself for the past 4 years, even he won't vote for himself. But let's give him the 1 vote. Okay, him and his wife, 2 votes. Okay, let me give 20 votes. His family, I don't know how many people are in his family, but let's say 20 people, assume 20 people, and we say, well, they're probably more than that, but 20 votes. Okay, we probably have to add Asari Dokubo to that list to make it 21. If you haven't seen Asari Dokubo's video on this topic, I think you need to watch it. Just Google it. So 21 votes maximum. I do not expect anybody, even people from Bayelsa State, to vote for this man. Because let's not even make this a tribal issue or some tribalist. This is not the issue. The issue is who is going to move Nigeria forward. Chikena. Someone has not done it in 4 years. If he's still doing it in 4 years and we still can't see any tangible results, I don't see why he's there. I don't see why he should be there for the next 4 years. And before you think too far, I'm thinking that some people might be saying that I'm contradicting myself with the last video saying we shouldn't complain. My issue is not the complaints, but the fact that we don't do anything and we just complain. So now, concerning this issue, there is something that we can actually do about this. So this complaint is a complaint for the future, that we should do something about it in the forthcoming elections. Now, hold on. If anybody is thinking right now that, oh, our votes don't, if that's what just came to your mind, that what does election have to do with that? What does my vote have to do with it? And you're going to say, oh, they're going to rig it anyway and all that. Please, just stop there. We can't sit down and say, oh, our votes don't count, blah, blah, blah. Are you kidding me? How can you be sitting down in a country, you go to vote, you stand up, leave your house, you go and cast your vote. believing that it's not going to count. And you're doing this every 4 years. Why? I mean, what kind of, I mean, it's very, I don't even know what word to use, but it's the mindset is very terrifying, because both the people who are rigging, who know that you're going to vote but they're not going to count your vote, they're going to rig it and do whatever they want to do, and you who are going to go and vote knowing that your vote won't count, is deep. It says a lot. And after this, people ask me, oh Tamilore, so what's the solution? There is no hard and fast rule. There is no formula that is magically going to change everything. There's nothing like that. It's very simple steps. Standing up and saying we don't want to do this anymore. Those little things, those are the things that count. Now, if we say, for instance, this is just a scenario. Let's say, when the elections come around, we all say we're not voting. We all say we're going to sit there in our houses because we don't believe our votes count anyway. So why should we bother? Let's sit down at home and look. Now, what result are you going to announce in that kind of situation? You can only manipulate votes that have been cast. If the vote hasn't been cast, I mean, what are you going to rig? Simple statements like that just pretty much send the message that we are not going to take this line down. I'm not saying I know everything, and I'm not saying that I have answers or anything, but what I'm saying is that how long are we going to sit down and look at things like this happen? This election, 2015 election, I'm taking it personal. I know it seems like elections are still sort of far away, but this is the time when we need to make up our minds to, make a stand and not keep on looking. Not keep on looking at these people literally trampling on our rights. It is ridiculous and it should stop. And that's my opinion. See you some other time. Bye.